What's up, YouTube? This is Luke Wilson, and welcome to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel. Now, everyone, for today's video, whether you're watching on the live stream or the replay, today's video, I'm going to be talking about building your business, building your brand, and how to think a little bit bigger than just the regular kind of detailing mindset of just trying to get another customer. So, at any point, obviously, feel free to comment in the section in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. And today is Father's Day, but I'm just going to take a little bit of time because I did not release a morning video like I regularly do. I'm going to take a little bit of time to go live today and this afternoon to just talk about a couple things. So, number one, I've had a lot of questions written in recently regarding kind of what I do outside of detailing or how I kind of make money while I'm not detailing or if I make money while I'm not detailing. And so I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about what I do personally when I'm not detailing and what it looks like for a detailer to have more than just one stream of income. And so if you're a professional detailer out there, then it is very, very important to understand this is a very basic and fundamental concept. But if you're a professional detailer, then the big question that you have to have answered is, what is your end goal? A ton of detailers are in a mindset that's very normal, I think, but they're always thinking of how to get to the next customer. How do I expand my customers, expand my clientele? How do I get to detail more cars? And while that is a great thing to be thinking about, at the end of the day, that is only one stream or one road that a detailer can take in regard to income. And so if you're only thinking about how to get more customers, that's not a very sustainable plan. And so, for example, with me, I do auto detailing, but I also do a lot of full-time ministry. So auto detailing allows me to make my own schedule. It allows me to make great money, but it allows me to have a lot of time to do ministry. And that's a big reason why I do full-time auto detailing as my job. Now, if you're just joining on the live stream, I am discussing some things like, where's your business going? What's your end goal? How do you expand your brand, expand your business, and ultimately become more profitable? That's kind of what I'm talking about today, and how to kind of get out of the regular detailing mindset and get into really thinking and having a bigger vision than just the next customer. And if you're watching on the replay or if you're watching live, don't be afraid to give this a thumbs up. And of course, you can ask me any questions. I might do a little bit of a Q&A at the end. But anyways, just thinking about your next customer or how to get more customers is a great way to expand your detailing business, and it's probably the most obvious way, but it's not extremely sustainable because you're only one single person. And so we also have to think, when you're detailing and you're getting older and you're a 55, 60-year-old guy, it gets a whole lot harder to do the manual labor that detailing requires. And so if we've not expanded our vision or expanded what we think we can do or how to make more money than just that one stream of income, you might actually come to a point in life where you're not really making any money because there was no vision beyond just the next customer. So I got a couple notes here. That's what I'm looking down. I wrote some of my thoughts down. But if you don't have an end goal for where your business is going as a detailer, then you're never going to know when you've arrived. And I want to say that again. If you don't have an end goal, then you don't know when you get there. Javier, great to see you, man. But if you don't have an end goal, you're never going to know if you get there. And so what I'm saying is, your end goal might be a lot of different things, but like for me, for example, my end goal, a thing that I really dream of, is that my brand, Wilson Auto Detailing, and my business would become so sustained and profitable apart from me being directly involved that I can do full-time ministry without having to detail a bunch of cars. That's my end goal. And so because I know that's my end goal, now I have something that I can work towards, right? I'm moving towards something. And so that's point number one. Have an end goal so that you know when you arrive and you have something you're working for, rather than just aimlessly detailing cars and making money and kind of wasting time almost. Not that that's a waste of time, but if that's the only thing, if that's your entire vision, that's not very sustainable, and it's not going to be too profitable in the long run as well. Now, point number 2 is if you're an auto detailer, it's important to be thinking about how to create something, create a culture within your business that is, number 1, sustainable, and number 2, it can be replicated. In other words, you can replicate yourself as an auto detailer and your own work ethic and your own process and system, your own clientele, your own way of doing things. You can replicate that in other people, so that if at some point you decide to go on to bigger and better things, or you decide to expand your business and you want to be the owner or whatever, you can have people under you who are doing what you're doing, but you're not necessarily having your hand and your involvement directly in it. And so you're actually drawing income from something that you're not directly involved in, but you have people under you directly involved. And so if you're building a business that's completely based around you and it can't be sustained or replicated apart from you, then at the end of the day, you're kind of limiting yourself, because you can't grow almost at that point unless you're involved. And so what I would just say is that you may want to eventually do something where you're not directly involved in the detailing process. And mi amigo de México, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por mirar la cosa que estoy haciendo ahorita. Okay, so anyways, I got my friends from Mexico messaging me. Now, anyways, what I was saying is that you might come to a point in your detailing business where you don't want to be directly involved. And if you've not created your business to be sustainable and replicatable apart from yourself, then you're kind of limiting yourself, because you're always going to have to be directly involved. And ultimately, as you get older, you might not want to be directly involved, okay? So that's point number 2. Create something as an auto detailer. Create a culture of business that's replicatable and that's sustainable apart from your hand directly being involved. And that's going to widen your scope and widen your options and directions that you can take with your business in a really big way. And what exactly that looks like is going to be different for everybody, right? But it is a very important just kind of concept to just keep in mind. If you're just joining on the live stream, I'm talking about how to become more profitable in expanding your vision, expanding your ideas for your business, becoming more profitable in not limiting yourself, and understanding what it's like to think bigger than just the next customer in detailing. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure to give this a thumbs up if some of this is helping you, or maybe helping you get a little creative with your business. And if you're watching right now, don't be afraid to give this a thumbs up. This is just a little Father's Day time that I'm taking out from hanging out with the fam and doing this live stream. I think it's going to add some value and good content to your lives. Now, point number 3 is to expand your market, okay? So as a detailer, obviously the first thing that people are thinking about detailing are cars, right? You're detailing cars, you're detailing trucks, you're detailing SUVs or whatever, but people own more than just cars, right? So this is a very immediate and liquid kind of way to make more money or become more profitable or grow your business. But for example, there are a lot of people who own things like golf carts and golf carts or boats or RVs or motorcycles, right? And so when we're only thinking cars, then at the end of the day, once again, without realizing it, you're kind of limiting yourself, because that's not the only thing people are interested in having detailed. And just as a side note, there's a neighborhood that I work in a lot and have a lot of clientele in, and almost everybody owns a golf cart. And I've detailed several golf carts at this point in my detailing world. And so that's not something people normally think about, but at the end of the day, what if that person owns a golf cart and they want me to detail their SUV, but then I let them know, hey, by the way, I also detail golf carts and I saw you have yours over here. It doesn't look like it's ever been detailed and I can do it in a pretty quick time period. And since I'm already at your house, why don't I just go ahead and knock it out? And not only is that just immediate cash flow for you, but it also is just a way that you can once again expand your market into something that's more than just what you're doing right now. And it's more immediate income. And the word of mouth with something like that spreads because it's sort of a unique niche. And so a lot of people are going to be talking about, hey, this guy actually, they talk inside of their own neighborhood circles. This guy actually doesn't only do cars, but he'll do your golf cart, he'll do your motorcycle, he'll do your boat and stuff like that. So of course, if you're beginning in the auto detailing business, it might be difficult to expand to something like boats or RVs. But once again, all in good time, as you grow, those kind of things start to come. So that's point number 3. And point number 4, and the final point for this kind of shorter video. And once again, if you guys have any questions, then you can ask me at the end. If you'd like to do a Q&A, that's totally fine. But point number 4 is consulting. Now, once again, if you're beginning in the auto detailing business, then consulting might not be something that you're going to do immediately. But as you gain more experience, especially in an auto detailing world, consulting is actually something that's very profitable and very needed because detailing is not necessarily something you go and take a class for. Though there are things like that. It's not something you necessarily go to college for or you go to conferences for, though yes, there are things like that. But for the most part, detailing experience or advice or teaching comes from people that you either know who do it or things like this YouTube video. Ultimately, this Wilson Auto Detailing channel is pretty much like a free college course or free, many, many hours of consulting. That's pretty much what this is. And yes, I will go back and show you guys the points that I was talking about. But consulting is an amazing way to make a lot of money and not necessarily have your hand involved in detailing exactly. So a lot of people pay a lot of money hourly for someone who knows what they're talking about to consult with them about how to start a detailing business, what products they use, what tools they use, how to sustain a detailing business, how to grow your clientele. All these things people want to know, and you can charge hourly with something like that. And so I bring up consulting just because it's another stream of revenue that you can have coming in while you're detailing, or if you're 65 years old and you decide to retire and you can't necessarily even physically detail cars anymore. Well, what if your reputation grows as a guy who consults with other auto detailers to how to begin in the business, how to whatever. And so once again, consulting is not something that everybody can do because you need to gain some experience. And it's not something that I do a ton, but of course you could argue that this channel is a consulting, gig. It's just for free. But I do get called in to do a lot of consulting. Sometimes I had a guy come in from Virginia this past month because he wanted to meet with me about talking about how to start an auto detailing business, but I don't charge people for it. I just don't. I might in the future. I just don't right now. I just would rather give you what I know for free. I'm not here to take people's money. But so anyways, I'm going to go back over those 4 points real fast, and then if you guys have any questions, I'll definitely stick around just for, like maybe a minute just to answer any follow-up questions. But number 1, this whole video is geared towards how do you expand your vision for your business instead of just looking at what's my next customer, how do I grow my customer basis, how do you expand your vision for your business of thinking bigger than just your local detailing business. Though if that's all you want, then that's great, but this is just some tips to think bigger. Number 1, you have to know what's your end goal. Where is your business going? What's your end goal? Is your end goal to franchise your business all around the world? Is your end goal to have a mobile shop where you have 3 vans and people working under you to go out? Is your end goal just you being the main detailer, nobody working for you, and you just taking all the profit? Like, is that your end goal? Is your end goal something like me, where I want to have a detailing business that's completely sustained apart from me so that I can go into full-time ministry and be pulling a revenue and a stream of income from that detailing business? Is that your end goal? So if you have an end goal in mind, then you have something you can work towards. But if you're just aimlessly detailing cars and just trying to kind of aimlessly grow your detailing customers or clientele basis, that's not so much a goal as it is just kind of a quick fix to have money. And I'm not saying that to be offensive or anything. it's important to think bigger than just who's my next customer, when's the next guy going to call me to detail their car. It's a little bit bigger than that. So number one, where's your end goal? If you don't know your end goal, you're never going to know when you arrive. Number two, create something in your auto detailing business that is, number one, sustainable, and number two, it's replicable. In other words, it can be sustained apart from your direct involvement. And number two, it can be replicated in other people. If at some point you want people to work for you, you have to create a culture within your business that you can replicate what you've been doing in other people so that they can carry on what you're doing without your direct involvement. And that's why I think the things sustainable and replicable go hand in hand, because you can replicate yourself in other people, but if you've not created a culture where it's sustained apart from you, then you're still going to have to be super involved in what they're doing. But if you create a culture where people can lead, people can manage, people can, direct, and people can work the right way like you've been doing it on your own, and that all of a sudden becomes something that is sustainable apart from your direct hand. And number two, you can replicate what you've been doing in those people. So create something that's replicable and sustainable. Point number three is to expand your market. And the only thing I mean by that, and this is a very obvious thing, but this is a very practical thing that everyone can do right now. Expanding your market. Instead of just thinking, how many cars can I detail? Well, what do people own that isn't necessarily a car? Motorcycles? Golf carts? RVs? Boats? Even things like dirt bikes. I mean, think about how quick it is to detail a muddy dirt bike. You can take a pressure washer to it, maybe throw some wax on some of the fiberglass parts, maybe put a little bit of tires, things like that take no time, that you can actually do while you're at a customer's house. When you get done with their vehicle, charge a little bit more money, and it's just a very quick way to make more money, to become more profitable, and it's a very easy way to do that, because all you have to do is open up your eyes a little bit and say, well, you have a boat, so how about I knock out your boat while I'm knocking out your SUV, and I'll charge you this much extra, and we can get both done at the same time. And the person might not even thought about getting their boat detailed, but because you brought it up, it's all of a sudden something they want to do. And the only one example that I have for that is that I've detailed a lot of golf carts. A lot of higher end neighborhoods where I live have golf carts. All the people own golf carts because they just, I don't know, it's something about like people with a healthy disposable income own golf carts and drive it around the neighborhood and stuff. Well, I've detailed a lot of their golf carts just because it's been there, just because the golf cart's there. And I offer the service, and they say, yeah. And it's something that doesn't take much time. It's something that is very profitable, and it's something that the customer wants. And so it's just a win-win-win. And so number three, expand your market. Think bigger than just what you're thinking right now with cars. Maybe widen your scope a little bit, okay? And then number four, of course, is consulting, and that's, self-explanatory. But consulting, that's something that's going to be less immediate with people. You're going to have to gain some experience with that. And you have to gain experience, and you have to gain authority in the field, because if people don't look at you as a detailing, like an authority in the detailing field, they're not going to listen to you, and they're not going to be interested in hearing what you have to say. But for example, I'm only 20 years old, but I have a lot of people that do consulting with me. And again, I had a guy come in from Virginia to talk to me, and he stayed at his brother's house, and we went out to eat because he wanted to talk to me about how to start a detailing business. And I sat with him for like three and a half hours, and I didn't charge him anything, because I'm just not in a place right now where I feel comfortable charging people for consulting. But once again, consulting is a very liquid, very profitable field that isn't necessarily detailing exactly, but it is an aspect of the detailing world where you can make money. And so with all that being said, those are the 4 points. Have an end goal, create something sustainable and replicable, expand your market, and consulting. And so guys, I'm going to stick around for like another minute and a half. If you have any questions, message me right now. I'll see them right on the screen. If you're watching on the live stream, don't be afraid to give this a thumbs up if this helped you, and you felt like it wasn't a waste of your time. And if you're watching on the replay, definitely give this a thumbs up if it helps you. And of course, if you're watching on the replay, don't be afraid to put your question in the comment section below this video, and I'll be sure to get back to your question in the comment section. But I'll wait. just a little bit longer to see if anybody has any questions about anything specific that I talked about. And then I will just click off this live stream. And happy Father's Day to anybody watching who is a father. And I thought this was a good time for a live stream because it's Father's Day. It's relaxed. I didn't put up a video today like I normally do because the Father's Day holiday, things kind of got thrown off. But anyways, yes, so any questions whatsoever, I'll stick around for like 30 more seconds and then we will say adios. But any questions at all? And of course, if you don't have time to type it, just type it in the comments section below and it'll be all good. All right, guys, that's 20 minutes, and so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I appreciate you guys. Comment in the comment section below. Like this video if it helped you, and if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, then consider subscribing because I come out with daily videos every morning on tips and tricks, not only for the pro detailers, but also for the do-it-yourselfers on products, tools, and strategies to use, but also things like this, videos about communication skills, business skills, and things of that nature, all geared towards the professional detailers, but then an aspect as well for the do-it-yourselfers who don't necessarily want to pay for somebody to detail their car, or if you're just a car enthusiast and you love cars, you love detailing, but really you're only doing it on your own cars. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Again, don't be afraid to ask me any questions. And from Luke Wilson here at the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, I will see you guys next time.